What's going on, YouTube? Thank you for tuning in to the episode of Welcome to Texas Podcast. I want to start off by telling everybody thank you that's been subscribing, dropping likes, comments. Thank you so much. It helps it helps the channel out. Uh, it's 2025. I need to get on this, but sometimes you don't feel like doing it, honestly. But I'm just doing a little quick intro video because there's a video from Hips is not going through. So maybe if I do a little 1-2 minute intro on the video, uh, it's just the other half of the video from Charles that I posted a day earlier, and it's just on the topic about how is there two dudes sleeping on one bunk, and you can see them. The dudes are laying in the bunk, and they're like, I don't know how they could be sleeping like that, unless they're playing it off for the guards or whatnot. But Charles says that it takes place like that. It happens. You know what I mean? There's dudes that actually sleep on the bunk together and they do their stuff. And this other part is about the other video in that documentary where that guy Eddie or Addy uh is drinking hooch with Mark and then Mark starts rubbing his leg and they go from there. But everybody, everybody can just there's 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 uh there's this guy that wrote a book. I think it's called Fish. I can't remember, but it's Fish, man. So he's on YouTube and he went to prison at a young age. And he wrote this book, and it's about being forced feminization. You know that a lot of these dudes are not gay. They've been sleeping with women before and after prison, but it's just more of a psychological thing. That they do it for. And it's called protective pairing. They got all kinds of names for it. Daddies, catchers, pitchers. But people are intrigued by this type of stuff. You know, Hopefully we can get some more clarity on this topic from either Mark, Charles, or somebody else that was there. So hopefully y'all like this video. I ain't gonna take too much time. Y'all have a good one.
16 dorm out back, which was an AIDS unit.
And like right here, where's the guard at, man? At this time, like where does this command center at? Where
You'll
does this
never
post
see a
at?
guard. What it is, when you walk in the
Is
dorm,
he
you
inside?
got a pod in the middle, raised up. You got your A side and your B side. You'll never see that officer in the dorm. He'll always be in the pod.
Oh shit! So he ain't never paying
So
attention
everything
then, huh?
there's not, man. That's my whole. That was my whole point to begin with. The guards are not seeing any of this. They don't care, man. The
Yeah.
guards right there will sit up there in that cube and watch two people beat each other to death before they try to come in there and take a chance on getting involved.
Sad, man.
That's the way it is here in Alabama. It is sad.
Is this Mendenhall right here?
Let me see.
And in prison, that made him vulnerable.
Who's this other guy with Mendenhall right here?
Let me see.
But Mark wasn't one to lose control of the situation.
See all that shit.
He reminded Mindy that it was his job to lure newcomers into their circle.
And David Mendenhall, he worked on radios. And
That guy look familiar right there working on those radios?
That's Mendenhall.
This one right here with the short hair?
Yep. Right there. Wait, zoom his face in again.
he'd fix my radio and everything. We got to talking, eating together.
Or is that guy right there?
That's that guy. That might be Johnny.
I'm gonna see if you can
That's how
recognize his voice.
Mendenhall. That's how Mendenhall would knock all them boys off from Mark. He would build them a jam up radio, sound like a stereo, and he'd do all this, that, and the other. Next thing you know, he's introducing them to Mark, and there it goes, just like that.
Together, you know, drinking together.
See, this guy's name's Eddie.
Eddie,
You know who?
Eddie,
Eddie.
Eddie. I don't remember him. But that's been a long time ago, though. I'd have to see his face.
He sounds white, don't he?
Yep.
Do a little drugs together. And we became friends.
I had never turned a boy out or had a boy or anything, and that wasn't my objective. You know, I was just supposed to pull him away from the other people he was kicking it with and to kick
You
it with
there?
us.
They never.
So there was other groups of doing the same thing, huh?
Yeah, they were. Everybody was doing it. That was what they were doing up there. And he just reiterated what I told you. That was his job. Pull him away from everybody else so he could come kick it with us.
To Mendenhall. Because
Yeah.
Mark talks he talks highly of Mendenhall, man. He says Mendenhall was no average boy. That man, he had hands and he wasn't
Man, that
he
little fucker couldn't fight his way out of a wet paper sack. Or maybe that's just that I can and they can't. Maybe I don't know. Because I whooped all of them.
yeah. And people are questioning. People are like, man, how did he beat up old Mendenhall and old Mark?
See, they looking at this, what they failing to realize is Mendenhall ain't but about 5'3".
Yeah, he don't look too big, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, he ain't but about 5'3" and skinny as a rail. Mark ain't no big dude. You know, he ain't no big dude neither. So I don't know. They talk like they gators. I guess they are. You put 3 or 4 of them together. I'm just an old country boy, man. I follow all my
Playing
fucking
the parts that they want to listen to.
right. I bet he ain't playing this.
Nah, man. But they're just picking and choosing. You know what I mean?
And you know what's so bad about it? And this is a personal message from me to Dante. You are way too unprofessional for this, brother. Your professionalism has went straight up Mark's ass. I mean, that's the bottom. That's how I feel about it. That Dante has no professionalism in his period.
Yeah, let me. I'm gonna start it right here because this guy says, you know, you've been saying a lot of things about Mark, you know. So you know, I want to, you know, all the evidence we have is just his
Right.
documentary and the Jonathan Swartz interview. So that's what
Right.
we can base off. You know what I mean? And you always said that Mark was a gobbler. You know what I mean? That he
Yeah.
had something in his mouth that he wasn't supposed to.
Yeah, I'd like to know what he's doing with that boner on that boy he's rubbing his leg on.
Yeah, like right here, this right here, this right here is gonna like
Basically, they give me anything I wanted. You know, watches, clothes, boots, shoes, anything I wanted, I could get.
His family had cut him off.
But you also said that's why you and Mark get y'all got into a conflict because he was feeding the boys everything, huh?
Yeah. The business went out the window. All the business money was going for other stuff. And I didn't know nothing about it. And when I found out, that's what happened.
Yeah. So instead of using the profits to re-up and keep
Right.
the store stocked,
I mean,
he was
yeah.
just
Because, I mean, you know, and I know, man, that it was more than just a store. I mean, we were buying things and selling things. It was a lot to it. You know how prison stores are.
yeah.
And then I was the plug then. So there's a lot more to it. And the matter of fact, it was his buddy, Mendenhall, is the one told me there's money coming up gone.
Oh, so he started playing both sides, huh?
Been doing that the same way would they all do that.
Yeah, because Mark saying Mark, see, because you're saying that you were the plug, but Mark saying that Mindy was the plug.
Yeah, he was getting plugged.
Yeah,
Yeah, they was plugged, right? Plugging each other.
because he for some reason, man, he talks up Mindy, man. So I think he still loves Mindy, man.
Probably does. I mean, you know, hey, him being gay, I don't care nothing about him being gay. Mindy being gay, I wouldn't care. They can hug up and suck on each other all night long, all day, every day, for all I care about. But don't put my name and bash me in the middle of it. I didn't make you what you are. You was that way long before I come across you.
Yeah,
I mean, and then I don't know what gets me is he's pointing fingers at me. Why? But I don't even understand why he's pointing the finger at me because I ain't talking about nothing other than what Schwartz talked about. And everything I've talked about, you can go back in that video and pull up and look and see. I'm talking specifically on this documentary.
because that's how we got, man. That's how we can base off is this documentary, Jonathan Stewart's interview, your word, his word. Because at the end of the day, it's just you and him that were there.
Yeah.
That are on YouTube at the moment. I'm pretty sure there's other people that were in that documentary that are still alive, but they don't want no part of it.
No, they don't want no part of it. I mean, you think how hard it was for you to get me on here. I didn't want no part of it.
No, you didn't.
Because it's doing what I knew what it would do. I'm allowing Mark Moore to interrupt my life again. And by God, this time, Mark, it ain't going to happen. When it's over this time, your ass going to be squashed like a bug this time. Because I ain't 20 years from now, I better not dare hear from you again.
Yeah, but I think y'all should get closure after this, man. Because you know
I
what?
do too.
After
And I don't understand what the big beef is between me and him. Because I can sit down and talk with him like a grown man and act civil and be respectful and try to figure this thing out. But though I can also sit down and act like the animal that you want me to act like. And Mark, when I go to acting like that animal, you don't like that, and you know you don't. You didn't like it then, you ain't gonna like it now because I'm gonna hurt your fucking feelings.
Yeah, man. People don't understand that. At that time, man, you were how tall were you, man? 6 something.
6'1",
Mark's like what, 5 something.
5 something. I was 6'1" at that time, and I may have looked skinny or whatever, but I was 6'1", 190 pounds. I was in the best shape of my life. I didn't play ball and all that coming up. I boxed. I've always been kind of lean, and that's always what I've done. I boxed. I fought. I had an anger problem. I had to have something to beat on.
Yeah, man.
And so you know, as far as the violence and all that, yeah, I could get there real quick with that. I could go in there real quick with the violence because that's the only thing I know to take care of me in there.
Yeah, that's what people respect, man, is violence.
And that's sad. It's sad that a
Yep.
grown man that really don't want to do nothing, and I'm talking about myself, I just really don't want to do nothing but just be left alone, live my life as free as I can, and not bother nobody. And anybody out here tell you I'm just as happy-go-lucky and likable as a man you'll find. And I don't like to be pushed to that point. I hate it. It brings out a side of me that I can't stand. And nobody around me likes it. And Mark Moore, you didn't like it neither. And that's why you doing this shit, because you always cross the state with it. If you was up here around here where I could get to you, you wouldn't even be doing that shit because I beat your ass. And you know it. It wouldn't be the first time.
Yeah, 'cause, you know, I've never heard him talk bad about Mindy, man. Now that I'm thinking about it, he's never really he's never really talked bad about him. He's
Well, if you
always
really
talked him
think
up.
about it, he's never really talked much about it. And you know why that is, don't
He
you?
hasn't.
Because it brings out everything he's lying about.
Yeah, it's the truth,
When he
man. I
goes
mean,
to talking about Mindy and all that right there, it brings out everything he's lying about. That's why he don't talk about it.
no, he don't, man.
No, I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. David Mendenhall don't live but about an hour from me. I'm gonna go find him if he's alive. Is he alive?
I don't know, man. That's the thing.
Well, I'm
His
gonna go
his
find him.
his ex-wife came on and he said his because he got a sister. Mendenhall has a sister,
Right.
and supposedly the sister ran into his ex-wife and said that he passed away in a car accident. Supposedly.
And that could be true. That could be true. But if it ain't true, I'm telling you right now, Noel, right now, I'm gonna go find him.
Yeah, go
He
find
lives
Mendenhall,
up,
man.
he lives up in this area. If he's alive, I'm gonna find him.
Or at least if you can get even if he's passed away, you can get his sister to verify and be like, hey, I am Mendenhall's sister.
Right.
He's gone and passed away.
If I can't get nothing else, man, I can go to look. I can look it up at the courthouse down here. If I can't get nothing else, if he's passed away, there's a death certificate somewhere.
Yeah, there is. He died. He passed away like on the 23rd of 2 years ago, man. Now 2 years
But I
ago.
know a few people, man, up here that was in prison back then. And I
That
ain't
can
been
verify.
wanting to get nobody else on this bandwagon like that, but I'm gonna get them. I'm gonna get them. I'm
No,
gonna
man.
get a couple people that I know, man, and bring them up one day when we have an interview. I'm gonna log on. All three of us gonna be sitting there.
Yeah, you had over there. Mark had a lot of people from Alabama coming out saying that he wasn't doing none of that stuff, man. But I haven't seen those guys lately.
I know a lot of people in Alabama. I mean, you figure I did 30 years in this state, so I know a whole lot of people.
Okay, that'd be good, man. That the more people that can verify your story,
Right,
the
right.
better, man.
Yeah, we'll
'Cause-
get together and we'll get together and talk about it because I'm not gonna promise them any pay or nothing. I might
Yeah,
give them something out of what you give me, but I'm not
you know
gonna
what
bring
this
them
is.
on board for that.
You know what this is right here, Charles.
What's that?
What place? Where is this? Where is this? Like the day room or something?
That right there
Where
is in the
the screen,
gym.
like where they're at.
Mail
That's
calls
in the
came with
gym at Movie Call. That's the Movie Call room
Oh,
up
so
in the
that's like movie
gym.
night.
Yeah. I mean, they have it in the dorm too.
And
They
what do
usually rent,
y'all watch?
have like a special movie in the gym for the whole camp, right? That's what that is right there.
Oh, and where people can and smoke and drink and do all that type of stuff in
Right,
there.
right.
with no letters from home and no money on the books. Survival was looking grim.
When my folks quit looking out for me, I felt betrayed. I felt like I didn't deserve that. I was at my lowest self-esteem, so I had to find a way to pick me back up, make me happy. Make the best out of a bad situation. And
Right.
Mark and Mendenhall, they did that.
More I think about it, I think that boy right there, his name is Jason Fields.
He sounds familiar to you now, right?
He does, and he sounds like I knew a boy back then that kind of sounded like that, but it's been so long ago. His name was Jason Fields, and that might not be him. I don't know. Like I said, it's been a long time ago.
Yeah. I mean, and then him being in the shade, in the shadows, you really can't distinguish
Yeah,
his features too
but he's
much. You know what I mean?
definitely at Limestone because that's Limestone's tower right there in the background. That
Yeah.
tower is 125 foot tall, stands in the middle of the prison.
And they can see everything then, huh?
Yeah, they got a camera up there, dude, that they can zoom in and pull the number off of your shirt.
And see, damn,
See your ID.
that's high tech right there for you.
It is, man.
I turned out.
You see what Mark says right here?
Yeah, say that again.
Like right here.
The best out of a bad situation. And Mark and Mendenhall, they did that.
I turned out. Basically, he said he wanted.
He felt he could talk to me.
Julep is a prison world whiskey. Make it out of yeast, orange juices, and
I'm gonna be so close to some Jim Beam whiskey.
rice.
You ever had any of that stuff before?
Yeah, and it ain't nowhere near close to no Jim Beam. I make a pretty mean cup, but I ain't hit Jim Beam level yet. You're doing something then. You're
Yeah,
doing something way
that's
more than you're supposed to be doing.
that's JG right there, man.
Yeah, that's JG. He was the whiskey man.
Oh, he was the whiskey man.
He was JG was the whiskey man, and made a good cup.
Pretty good. How much were the cups going for, man?
Usually $10,
Oh shit.
but I mean it
Pretty
was
good.
a 32-ounce tumbler.
Oh, okay.
I mean it wasn't
That,
just no cup. It was a quart.
oh, okay. So that's a good night. That's for one good night, man.
Oh yeah, two of them. You really in the game.
Yeah.
Until I might make Jim Beam sue me.
It'll get you drunk, pretty much like free world alcohol. We got to drinking that night.
Now see,
And
that right
both
there
of us
lets
was
you know
pretty
this is
tipsy.
scripted. That right there lets you know this is scripted, because they're allowed. Okay. One, you know they didn't get to keep that whiskey. And that's all it was a tutorial. So that's when I say that right there, that's what I mean by scripted.
Yeah, it was reenactment. It was
Right.
reenactment
If you go
like
on
how
to
Jonathan
watch it,
like John,
I'm actually forging some documents in there. If you go on and watch that part of it, I'm in there showing them how I forge documents.
they don't actually have that part in here, man.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in there that's not in there.
Yeah, and Jonathan verified that, man. He says that there's other stuff that didn't make it. That it was either too gruesome or too graphic or just
Well, I can see why they would cut that out.
yeah, they don't want nobody else forging. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
because I mean, I showed them how, really,
Yeah,
how, and I can forge anybody's signature out there.
yeah, they don't want to. They don't want that type of information being out there. You know, and that was early in the 2000s. You know what I mean?
Right, and that was when checks and all that stuff was still real good.
Yeah,
And
they don't
then,
want
and
that
then,
information out there.
and then it goes back to what I was saying about scripted. They don't want the world to know we know how to do those because we set a crime spree off. But here again, they don't care about the world knowing what you do in prison. The gay stuff, the whiskey, the drugs. They want you to see that.
Yeah,
That's what they're promoting. And that's what I go back and say, drama sells.
it does.
That stuff sells. Me showing them how to write a letter ain't going to sell nothing.
Nothing.
That stuff right there, sitting there by a poker table making whiskey in a plastic bag, people want to see that.
Yep. And that was this is like the first kind of documentaries, you know, man, that actually got a real life up close personal, like other than lockup, you know, because lockup wasn't really showing you all that, you know, they weren't really
Right.
showing you how to make hooch until later episodes. You know, there were certain
Right.
some that they were showing them how to make tattoo guns and you
Yeah.
know.
Because I make them still. I still run tattoos out here. And
Oh yeah,
I do it with a prison made gun.
shit, that's not bad, man.
I got a few little clientele that I deal with, and that's the way they want it. They like the black, greenish looking, prison looking stuff.
That's not bad, man.
I give it to them.
Yeah, you give it to him. Look, because this guy right here, look.
we're just laying on the bed back there. He was at one end of the bed, and I was at the other end of the bed. And
See right there, is that two people
I'm
there?
we're just laying on the bed.
Right. I think it's just showing somebody laying in the bed.
That's two people sleeping right
there. Yeah, that is.
You see this person laying down right here?
Yep, that is.
That's his head, and that's somebody else's leg over here.
Right.
So is that how they would sleep, man? Like that? Scissors?
Man, they would sleep like that, and the officers will count you like that. Alabama is so screwed up with this stuff. They can go through during a head count, and they can be sheets hanging up around the head, a bed, and they know what they're doing in there. And the system in Alabama is so screwed up. They'll be doing a head count during the dorm, and this is how this will go: 1, 2, 3. How many's in there? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's how they count.
Yeah,
they don't even stop the show for the bed rosters and the institutional things. It keeps right on going.
Yeah, like these guys look like they're not actually sleeping, man. It looks like they probably portraying to go to sleep while they were actually doing something.
They probably were.
Because how can you sleep in this type of position?
I mean,
how can you sleep in this
them.
type of position?
That's because they're probably locked up under there.
Yeah, they're locked up somehow, man.
And I mean, and that just goes to show you right there that the guards don't care.
Yeah, I mean, because if you look at it, I mean, this is his head with the some kind of towel wrapped around his eyes, and this guy's
is somebody's
foot's
head
cocked up somewhere.
And that's somebody's head right there. Under that sheet.
That's somebody's right there, huh?
Yeah, that's somebody's head right there.
Yeah, and because that's his foot right there, leg right there.
Right.
It's like he's riding him. It looks like he's riding him or something.
That's what they do.
Yeah, man.
That's
I mean,
what they do.
And I guess they must have came in at count time.
Yeah, that's every day, all day in there.
Yeah, I just barely caught on to that right there, man. I mean,
it's crazy, man. It really is. It's crazy. Because, I mean, and then in the dorms in Alabama,
that is crazy.
When you leave up out of there to go to lunch, like they call chow call or something, and you know when they call chow, it's always, you've been in prison, there's always just a bare minimum in the dorm after chow's gone.
Yeah.
And that's when it goes down.
Yeah.
Everybody leaves the dorm, the freaks hit the shower area.
Yeah, because that makes sense. Look what he says right here.
Yeah, back there, he was at one end of the bed, and I was at the other end of the bed. And he just started rubbing on my leg. Automatically, by me being pretty well drunk.
Now alcohol makes you gay.
Began to come erect, you know.
Yeah.
And, I didn't have any complex about it. You know, I already liked him. He's a good looking dude.
See, because like right there, man, he says he got a boner, man. Why Mark was rubbing his leg.
Right.
You know, what do you think? What do you think would have happened right there, man? You think Mark just started gobbling on that guy, man? Like,
oh, ain't no doubt about it. I mean, that he just told how the show started. See if we can get him on there and ask him how the show ended.
we got Mark, man, but Mark just he doesn't want to come out and tell the truth.
He don't want to come out and say it, man. He's rubbing on legs, giving guys hard-ons. Oh, but I ain't doing none of that. You got everybody and their brother on air right here telling what you've done, and you even told what you've done. I can't wait to see Mindy in the morning. I got to see him before I go to bed at night. Oh, but I'm not gay. Why aren't people saying this shit about me? Fucking idiot.
Yeah, he said it himself, man. He said all this stuff himself.
I mean, you said all this shit yourself, Mark. Just get over yourself, man. You may think you know something, and you know something, Noel. I think he's just doing this to hear himself. I don't think these folks believe this dumbass.
I really
don't.
I think some don't, man, but a lot of majority of people do, man. And
they're
it's
going
just
to follow him because he's putting on a show for them. Oh, I didn't do this. Oh, I am the man. Oh, my God, they blamed this poor black guy for this right here. Oh, my God, let's get the civil rights involved. Let's get everybody. Let's just bash everybody's head. Because I didn't give that guy a boner. I didn't wake up with Mindy every morning. I didn't go to bed with Mindy every night. I wasn't in the cell with Mindy all the time. He wasn't like my baby's mama. I don't know who said all that shit.
He said all that stuff, man. And
yeah, he said all that.
I mean, what do you expect right there? You know, this guy saying that Mark was rubbing on his leg and this guy's getting a boner. And
here's another guy. This ain't even Mindy right here. This is another guy.
Yeah, man. So people just want to choose and listen to what they want to hear and watch, man.
That's exactly what they want to do.
You know, everybody's watched this documentary numerous times.
I mean, it's the same thing with everything in life, man. I watch movies on TV. I watch action movies. Now, I'm going to watch Van Damme before I watch Pinocchio.
Yeah, because you like
I
action.
mean, because I like the action. I like the drama in it. Pinocchio, he's just a liar with a wooden nose. He didn't do nothing at all to fascinate me.
Yeah, Mark might like
That's
those.
exactly how this is. It's just a classic case of this poor black guy being accused of shit that he says he didn't do. But on the flip side of that, he confessed to every bit of it.
Everything, man. But people are so they're like, man, well, if he confessed and did all this stuff, how come no charges were ever brought against him?
Because
You know what
it
I mean?
was consensual. They don't care. The state of Alabama, the prison guards, they do not care, man.
Yeah.
They do not care. Anything you can do to occupy yourself and stay out of their hair, they're all for it.
And that's what the documentary was basically said, man. You know, they were letting them do what they wanted to, and in that documentary where JG and Mark did that to the white blood, you
Right.
know, the white blood decided not to press charges on them. He decided he decided to just come out
Is
and
that
live.
Jackie and Mark both claiming to be blood, and they doing it to their own blood?
Yeah, it's in that
I mean,
documentary. We're gonna do the
I
other
know, I know it's in there.
you you know and that there was no charges on that one, man, because you know if there's no victim, there's no case.
Well, let me tell you what happens. A lot of them guys run to the sheriff's office. Oh, they did this to me. They made me do this. They did this. And you know what the officer, and you know what 9 times out of 10 the lieutenant says? Oh, he made you do this? Well, where do I need to send my officers to pick his body up at? If he made you do this, why ain't you kill him?
Oh man.
And that's exactly how they handle that. If he made you do this against your will, why ain't he full of holes or beat up somewhere?
Oh, so just
It's just like that.
Yeah, I can see it happening, man.
And
I
then
mean,
and then they come with, oh, you're admitting to being involved in homosexual activities, so we're gonna write a letter home and tell your parents because you might have AIDS now.
yeah, and that's
Yeah,
the thing that,
there is no charges.
yeah,
You might
and that,
get a disciplinary or a citation, something that'll be wiped away in 10 days. But as far as charges, man, they wasn't charging nobody for that.
yeah, that's what that white blood said, man. That you know
They
he
wasn't
really
charging nobody for that. I mean, you got to figure this too. And then the guards in Alabama, 90% of them are black and 80% of them are gang members.
so they don't care.
So, I mean,
They really don't care. It's
they
the
really
same.
don't care.
Oh, yeah,
Your average officer in the state of Alabama don't work no more than 4.5 years now because they go in there and they make $2 million in 4 years and get out of there.
yeah, from all the
This
smuggling
is nothing. Alabama prison system is nothing but a drug trafficking complex. Is all it is. Perverts and drug addicts. That's all that's in there, man. Gay sex and drugs. That's it.
yeah, rocking. It's only missing the rock and roll.
That's it. And they got that too. Mendenhall building stereos for them.
Oh yeah, you're sure about that, man. They had everything.
They had it all.
They had it
And
all,
it's
man.
worse now. It's worse today than it was then.
Yeah,
Because now they get you and they'll torture you and beat you to death in there and send a video of it to your folks. And then if they don't pay you, they'll send a video to your folks of them killing you.
yeah.
And that's just the way it is.
You see it on YouTube all the time, man.
All the time.
And it's on
All the
YouTube.
time.
Okay, Charles.